everyone, this is Lupe from BrunoPlanningCO. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, I upload a video on all things planning at least once a week. And today I want to show you my planner lineup for 2020 and kind of go through the process of analyzing what I'm currently using and potentially what I want to change for 2021. Okay, so this is my planner stack. And there is another video in which I go over everything that I was using from the middle of 2020 until now. I have added a couple of things since then, so I will go through those, but I just wanted to kind of show you all of them here. So the reason I wanted to do this video was because I wanted to share my process for kind of analyzing what I use, and I also wanted to just kind of clear up some questions. So when I do plan with me's, what I say is that I am planning in my Erin Condren Daily Duo, and that's what I use during those videos, which is what I do, but it's a little bit misleading because I use all of these planners and notepads and petite journals to plan my life. So the Daily Duo isn't the only thing that I use. It's kind of like the final version of my plans in a daily format. And I'll kind of go over that a little bit as we get into what I actually use. But I just wanted to kind of clear that up because I know when people say that they use multiple planners, that seems a little bit confusing, or if you're thinking about using multiple planners, you're like, well, I don't know how to even start. Like, what do you mean? Are you rewriting the same thing? There's like a ton of questions that come with using multiple planners. So I'm going to kind of break it down because that's how I'm analyzing for 2021. But I just want you to keep in mind that my Daily Duo is really just a culmination of all of these different notepads and planners. And that is what I like to use and look at every single day, which is why I love the daily so much. So it's really just a summary of everything else, all of my other plans that I've planned monthly, weekly, and then this is really kind of my daily, what I'm looking at planner. And then hopefully that'll make a little bit more sense when I go through everything else. So in thinking for 2021, what I did is I just went back to just thinking about what do I want to plan in general throughout the year. So for me, it's really broken down into 3 different categories. So when you're thinking for yourself, thinking about these big categories can be really helpful. So let me label them for you guys because I have 3 different sections of planners. So the left one over here is my home kind of stack. And then in the middle, I have my school stack. Here on the right, I have my sticker shop stack. So when I go over this, that'll kind of be the 3 categories that I use. And the way that I thought about those categories, for me, it's kind of simple because I have kind of all my personal, that's why I say home. So home is also like personal. So I have my personal, my home things that I need to get done. I am a teacher, so I have a ton of school things to get done. And then I do have a sticker shop, which I opened this year. And so I have all of that to think about as well. So for you, those categories might be, pretty similar in terms of, home and personal and work if you plan a lot of stuff for your work, or it might just be home and then you won't have, all of these different kind of stacks or different planners. Another thing that I was thinking about as I was doing this was if you do have kids, perhaps home and kind of your own personal things might be different from the category of your kids, depending on how old they are. I'm assuming, if they're in the age where they're doing a lot of activities, though I don't know how much for, during this time of COVID, right? But that might be another category because you might have different planners for, what your kids are doing, or if you're helping them, learn from home with remote learning. So that's what I did first. And in my Daily Duo, you always see kind of my categories of home, shop, and school summarized in my Daily Duo. So let me show you Friday. And so on all of my spreads, you will see home, school, and shop. And again, that's because I use all of these planners and I summarize them in a daily kind of way so that this is the only thing really that's open on my desk and that I look at every day. Okay, so then after I thought about all those categories, I just made sure that those are gonna stay the same. There's nothing new in my life. I'm still just, home, me and my husband. I still have a job at school and I still am running my sticker shop, and I plan to do that for 2021, which is so exciting. And so that's just going to stay the same for me. Now, what I did after that is I just reanalyzed everything that I want to plan for each category. So for home, I went ahead and listed everything that I want to make sure I plan in 2021, including things I've already done this year and things that I want to do next year. So I know there's some little marks here that I will explain a little bit later. I just want to go through this list. So event and appointments, bills, cleaning, general to-dos. I want to start a budget, weight tracker, something I want to do as well, and a goal tracker. So we'll talk about kind of these circles and pink writing a little bit later. But those are just all of the things that I want to make sure I plan in 2021 or continue to do so based on what I was able to do this year. And so for school, I also have a list there, my lesson plans and so on. And then for my shop, I also made a list of everything I want to plan. And here I try to get pretty detailed. So if you're doing this, if you're trying to figure out all those categories and kind of the list of things you want to plan, I think the more detailed you are, the better it's going to be for you in determining what planners you want to use, what do you want to keep the same, or what do you want to try different for 2021. So what I did next in this pink writing is I went ahead and checked off everything that I plan that's working for me right now. So events and appointments are well planned in my Daily Duo and in my notepad, and I'll show you what that is. My bills are well planned in my Daily Duo and in an app on my phone. Cleaning is in my Daily Duo, but I also want something else, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then my general to-dos are also in my Daily Duo. So a lot of Daily Duo in for my home. So what I usually do then is I plan my month first. So in the monthly view, I write down, all of my events, my appointments, just like I have here. I plan some general to-dos off to the side over here. And so that's all good. And then what I do on a weekly basis is I take this notepad, which is a weekly notepad because I'm using the Erin Condren Daily Duo. So there's no weeks in here. So I take my week, I write down all the events again. And I know that's kind of a lot, and maybe you don't necessarily have to do that. But everything is not written in my month. So there are things that I have to plan for on a weekly basis that not necessarily here. So I do need this notepad. And so what I do then when I'm planning daily is this is what I look at. So from here to here, just real simple. And so there is a little bit of rewriting, but this is really kind of a rough draft of what you want for your week, at least for me. So sometimes there is a rewriting, sometimes there isn't. It really just kind of depends on the week. And so for home, all of that has been working very, very well for me. The only things that I have to figure out is cleaning. So I don't think I want to write cleaning schedule in the monthly view. I had a bullet journal, which I actually didn't bring up, but it's just a notebook that's a bullet journal with dots. And I had a whole year cleaning schedule there that I've been using because I haven't had a chance to rewrite it. But I think for 2021, what I want to do, that's why I left a little bit of space. I think I want to put my cleaning schedule in one of the note pages in the Daily Duo. So there's some note pages in the back. I think I have my weight tracker, which I don't want to show. But there's some note pages in the back. And I think also before the year actually starts, where I can do my yearly cleaning schedule. I really want to keep it in the Daily Duo. So we'll see what I kind of think about that. And then I do want to start keeping a budget. So that's that. And I'll explain the blue ones a little bit later, but let's go to school. So for school, I have a lot of different check marks because the Erin Condren Teacher Planner is really working very, very well for me. If you haven't seen my setup, I'll link the video down below. But here is my Erin Condren Teacher Planner, and it is on disc. Erin Condren does not do disc. So what I did is I just went ahead and punched the binder pages for disc. So if you notice, you can see the 3 holes. And I have a video on how to do this as well. If you want to check that out, you can. But the reason why this has been working so well for me is because it is on disc and I can input a ton of different things in here and not use multiple notebooks or multiple planners, especially for this. So you can see I have different dividers as well. So this is COVID, just documents that I need, assessments. So I have a lot of different things inputted in here. And this is only one semester, by the way. So I will be changing this for 2021 and just putting in the second semester. So as you can see, I checked off a lot of things that I use with my teacher planner, like lesson plans, events, to-dos, my important school documents, as you saw some of them there. And there are other things that I use for my teaching or my school stuff, which is the Daily Duo, and I showed you that just from where I kind of summarize what I have to do for that day. So in my daily duo, I write down all of my school to-dos for that specific day. And I also kind of plan out all the periods and what I'm kind of doing during office hours and during my lunch. And then what I also use for teaching, which has been super helpful, and again, just for planning, and you can also do this for any kind of work that you have. It doesn't have to be for teaching specifically, but these notepads from Erin Condren, I love their dots. So you can do all sorts of like diagrams and to-do tables, but what I use it for is a to-do dump for school. So there are always a million things that I have to do for school, but they don't always kind of have to be done that day or that week. It's just, you know, if I think of something that I want to try, maybe I'll write it down. If I'm looking at my lesson plans or my draft lesson plans, then I'll write down everything I have to do or create. And especially with online learning, there's just a lot of things you have to make sure that are working or check before the lesson, all of this kind of different to-dos. So I can't possibly fit that all into here. I can't do it in a monthly. So this is just a whole list of what I need to do. So then what I do is I take those to-dos and think about what I need to do on a weekly basis based on what I've written so far. So that's where this notepad comes in again. So I'll, you know, think about at the beginning of the week, I'll be like, okay, I can get this done, this needs to get done. And I'll write it down in the days that I think will happen. And again, this is a draft, so I don't really know if that's what's going to happen, but I will do my best to try to plan it out. And then when I'm planning my days, that's when I really break it down to, okay, this is what I said I want to get done on Friday. And then I'll go ahead and write that here. And then of course I'll add stuff during the day if needed, or if it doesn't have to get done that day, I'll just write it on here. So it's been really working. And I think that's why I've been much more productive than I have ever been, honestly, guys. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have kind of this system, because with my shop, it's just added, you know, a ton more to-dos for me on a daily basis. So I have to plan on a daily basis. If not, things just wouldn't get done in time and, you know, efficiently. So doing that whole process of kind of rough drafting your plans and then going and finalizing it in a daily way has just, it's really helped me, you know, pretty much this whole entire year. Okay, so let's move on. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, if I didn't explain something correctly or it didn't really make sense, or you have questions on your system, definitely leave me a comment below and I'll be sure to respond. Okay, and then a couple other things I use for school was for math lab. So I push into a couple of different periods throughout the day. So I use the Erin Condren monthly. Okay, and I don't want to show any names or anything like that. So I'm just going to go to July, which wasn't filled because we were in school. But this is just a monthly with a bunch of note pages on the back. So what I do here is I just kind of plan out what the other teachers are going to be doing in their classes, so I'm aware. And then in the notes pages, I just write some notes on students that I've helped or that need help, and just kind of plan that out. So that's what I use for school as well. And then I also use this very thin Muji notebook for math. So I write all kind of math problems here so that when I'm checking students' work, I can also look at my work and analyze that. Okay, so let's go to my shop. So for my shop, these are the things that I need. So again, I went ahead and just checked off things that are already working. So for example, my budget is working really well. I'm budgeting in an Erin Condren notebook. So this is just a regular notebook. Let me flip to the back. Just regular lined notebook. And what I do is I use the Sarah Marie budget kits. So her budget kits kind of fit on these two sheets and they're monthly. So I can just go ahead and budget everything for my shop in those 2 pages. And I really, really love her stickers because she has a sticker shop, of course. So she uses her own budget kits as well. And I think they're really helpful. And then one thing that I put a question mark on was my inventory. So I use right now currently the Erin Condren habit tracker. So I'll show you what it looks like inside if you haven't seen it before. So this is what it looks like. So I have all of my inventory in the front. So what I do is I just have a list of all of my designs and then how much I have in stock, how much do I need, what do I need to print. And this has been working okay, but it's sometimes really difficult to kind of keep track with. I use a friction pen so it erases, but it really kind of messes up the paper after a little while. That means I have to keep redoing my lists because the paper ends up just kind of falling apart after you erase a lot of times. It's just not great to erase. And it's not totally great for keeping stock on paper. I have, you know, over 140 different designs that people can buy, which is a lot. So that's 140-ish checks that I have to look at and redo once the paper is not that great. So I don't know. I put a question mark. I have to think about it more. There are apps that you can have on your phone that keep track, and I'm sure you guys are thinking like, why don't you just use some program that can be helpful? And the reason is a lot of them are subscription based, so you have to pay on a monthly basis to keep inventory. And I feel like that's not a good investment for me right now. The shop is still, you know, growing, and I think spending, you know, $20 a month is kind of a lot to just keep inventory when I'm keeping it on paper and it's working okay. It's not like the best. But if I'm saving, you know, $20, $25 a month, investing it on something else, like I do want to eventually buy another cutting machine because I do only have one. And sometimes that's a little bit of a struggle, but you know, things like that, I do want to save up for, you know, investing back into my shop. So I don't know. I'm going to keep it for now. I put a question mark, but I'm probably just going to end up keeping this habit tracker. And then for to-dos, for my shop, I do use the Daily Duo, like I've mentioned here. And then I'm also been using my Hobonichi Weeks. So I really love this planner. It is super cute. You guys can see how small it is and how thin it is. It is like adorable and it's so portable. Here's the Petite Planner just for kind of scale. So it's about as thin as the Petite Planner, and it's a whole like entire year or more, I think. And so this is what the inside looks like. So you have your week, and then you have kind of a blank page where you can write. And then there's also a monthly view as well. Let me see if I can show. So there, so this is the monthly. And I know it's super tiny, which I thought was going to be great, and it was working okay. But there have been weeks where I've been extremely busy, especially when I was trying to get all of the Christmas designs done. I had a ton to do in 1 week, and every day was packed, and I didn't have enough space. So I put kind of a little line because I don't know exactly what I want to use. I have an idea. So the thing about what I want for my shop is I need a weekly view, definitely. And I loved having this kind of blank space on the right side where I can write some like order statistics or some order information, things like that, notes about that week in terms of orders. So I really, really like having that blank space, which is why I don't think I will be getting the Erin Condren pocketbook. I know those were new just recently. That pocketbook actually has the whole week on 2 pages. So they have, I think, Monday through Wednesday and then the rest or something like that, Monday through Thursday maybe, I don't know. But it is using both sides, and again, I really wanted kind of that empty notes page. And I also still want kind of like a portable travel size planner for my shop. So what I'm thinking for 2021, I was thinking of getting another Hobonichi, but what I'm gonna do, I think, is get a traveler's bullet journal. So a traveler's bullet journal will be just kind of a little bit larger than this. So that means I'll have more space. And since it's gonna be a bullet journal, what I can do is I can actually just kind of plan my spreads somewhat similar to this. I might also just do the week on the top and then leave down here for notes on what I want to take notes on that week. And I think that's going to work out a lot better. I'm a little hesitant because I did try bullet journaling and I did do it for like 1.5 years, but I didn't do it consistently because it is, you know, not time consuming, but you do have to set aside time to actually put your layout out because it's not going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday already written for you, right? It's a notebook. So you would have to write it every single week. And I would have to do month as well because I need the month view for my design schedule. So again, I have to kind of think about, do I want to spend time doing that? I'm not quite sure. See, I'm still thinking about it. So this is very helpful in just really kind of stopping and thinking. And I'm really glad I'm doing it now because usually I probably would wait until like January before I thought about what I wanted to do for 2021. Okay, let me just quickly go back to kind of the things that I'm still thinking about, which is these circles. So what I did, okay, so I checked off the things that I'm using that work out really well. And then I put circles as like to do bullets so that I know that I still need to think about these particular things for all of the 3 categories. So I still need to figure out that cleaning. Where do I want to write my yearly cleaning kind of schedule? And I do want to start budgeting next year. So in 21-21, hopefully we can start a budget. And I want to use the Erin Condren budget book. I think it's a great setup. It's not dated, so even if I don't start in January, I think it's going to be great for me just to have this and just to kind of try it out. So I probably should just check that off because I'm definitely going to be using this. I do need a goal tracker. So I know that Erin Condren has a lot of goal books, petite journals as well, which I'm definitely going to try. So I'm thinking about that. For school, I just needed somewhere to put meeting notes, which I think I'm just going to insert more note pages into my teacher planner, which would be awesome because then everything is all kind of there. And then for my shop, these are all kind of circles only because, again, I'm still debating what I want to do with this planner. So I still need somewhere to put my design schedule and all of those things, which I've currently have in here, but I'm not 100% sure that I want to use it. And then I do want a goal tracker as well for my shop. And if I get that kind of bullet journal, I can definitely do goal spreads in there, and it'll be really easy just because it's a completely blank page and I can do that goal tracker however I want. Okay, so that was kind of a lot, but I think it really helps in really analyzing what you're using, what's working. And you can do this, you know, I'm doing it at the end of the year, but I've really only been using the system for half of a year. So since, you know, the summer or maybe a little bit before summer. So maybe this is a good thing to do every 6 months or even quarterly. It really depends on how things are working out for you. For the most part, for me, I'm keeping most things the same, which is great because I feel like I'm really starting to get to that planner piece, even though there are multiple planners and multiple notebooks, but I feel like it's just everything's kind of coming together. I just need to figure out a couple of other things, but overall it's looking pretty good for 2021. And I hope this helped in just you thinking about what are your categories, what are the things that you want to plan, what do you have already that you use to plan. So one thing that I was thinking about when I was doing all this is how could I just have one planner? I feel like that just wouldn't work for me because I'm a teacher, because I have a shop. So if you're trying to achieve, you know, a planner piece by just having one planner, I really don't know if that's doable unless you really don't have a ton going on and you only have a category as home. Perhaps you can just use one planner, but I think it's kind of unrealistic to not have notepads or things that kind of help you to pre-plan. I don't know. I feel like I just couldn't do one planner. It doesn't make sense to me. All of these things keep me organized in a very efficient way because they all have their own purpose. Plus, I use them to plan in this kind of daily summarized way. And so when you look at my daily duo, know that there's been a lot of other planning. It's not just my daily duo that I'm using. It's just the one thing that I look at on a daily basis. So all of this means that I do have some extra planners, and thank you so much for staying with me if you were waiting for that giveaway. But because I have a pretty good system so far, there's only a couple of things that I'm going to add, like that traveler's bullet journal, which is not that big. Everything else will kind of stay the same. I will have some extra planners to give away. And so I haven't done a giveaway in a long time, and I really wanted to. I just been, again, just super busy, as you can imagine. So I am so glad that I finally have a little bit of a chance to think about what I wanted to give away. My Instagram has been growing, this channel has been growing, and I thank you so much. My shop has been growing. So just, I'm really, really grateful. And I think it's a great time to do a giveaway in November when everybody's thinking about what they are grateful for. And I am very grateful for all of you who join me every week, or if you're new, for even clicking on my video. It really means a lot to me. And I hope that I can help you in some way, you know, to make your life a little bit more productive, or just to, you know, add a little bit of fun to your planning as well when you watch my Plan With Me's. Okay, so for this giveaway, the winner will receive this very, very cute Erin Condren dust bag, and inside of it will be the entire full Daily Petite planners. So if you haven't seen these already, I did do a video on a review of them and just kind of walked through that and the whole entire Petite system. So I will link that down below, but you will get all of the 4 quarters. So from January to March, which look how beautiful that is. Oh, I haven't seen these since I did that video. So I'm just like re-loving all of these different covers from April to June, October to September, and then, oh, sorry, that was October to November. This is July to September, and then October to December of 2021. So you will receive this little nice cute bag, the 4 petite planners, plus $10 credit for my Etsy sticker shop. And I just want to kind of quickly flip through this just so you guys can see the actual inside if you haven't seen them already. Again, I suggest watching that other video so you can get a little bit more in-depth look. But if you notice, it's very similar to the Daily Duo. So if you remember from all of my post-its over here, there really isn't another space or another reason why I would need another daily. You know, I am getting that traveler's bullet journal for my shop, but that's a weekly view, which is what I need. I don't need another daily view for my shop. So I really want to give it to someone who can use it, who wants to try maybe a daily spread, and you're doing weekly and maybe that's not necessarily as productive as you want, and you want to try to do the system where you're using your weekly perhaps and then kind of finalizing your daily plans in a daily format. This is a really wonderful planner, or wonderful planners. They're super cute and colorful. You do get these sticker sheets in every single one. So I think I went over that in that other video as well. This is what you will get if you win all 4 with the little dust bag and $10 code for my shop, and they fit so cute in here. So they'll be nice and protected when I ship it to you. And before I give you details on how to enter, I do want to say that this giveaway is in no way sponsored, endorsed, or administered by or associated with YouTube, Instagram, or Erin Condren. So to enter to win these beautiful planners, you must be 18 years or older and reside in the US. You must subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And secondly, you need to go to the link in the description to earn entries. There are 3 possible entries you can earn per individual, and those are all stated after you click the link. The giveaway is open now and it will close on November 21st. I want to make sure there's a good week for the giveaway, and then also to get it to you before Thanksgiving so that it gets to you on time so you can start planning for 2021 and seeing how you want to use these petite planners. And the winner will be chosen at random by the random generator, and I will notify the winner through email on the week of the 23rd. So that Thanksgiving week, probably on the 23rd, I will email the person who has won. Definitely make sure to read all of the giveaway terms and conditions below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel first. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and good luck. Bye everyone.